Well, I'm going to go for it. So, hey there, I'm Will Estes. I'm a teacher, math and science, middle and high school, and as a response to the lockdown, quarantine, all that stuff, this past spring, my school's gone just full into preparation for any kind of remote or semi-remote operation that we'll need to do in the next school year. We formed a curriculum and instruction team to investigate ways of making sure that we could deliver our education up to our normal standards. I was part of that team. We all became Google certified instructors because we're going to be using Google Classroom as our platform, and also all of the Google Suite things that the programs that go along with that. So one of the things that I want to try and do with this is one, there's probably other teachers who are probably still shaking over the end of the last school year, and they're just like, what am I going to do for the next one? Or I'm still on that curriculum and instruction team. I think I'd like to be able to share this with my coworkers on that team, just to be a help to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be making lesson plans for next year that I'm actually going to use, and I'm going to try to showcase as much as I can the different tools that we went over during that professional development week. This is my first live stream ever. I have no idea what I'm doing. I did do a test, and I think the video and audio should be working fine. I don't know. I think it is. That also means I'm not watching comments or anything, so be good, I guess. Anyway, so I am teaching four classes. All right, I'm teaching Earth Science to 8th grade. That'll be in 2 sections. I've got a conceptual physics class, and then like more standard advanced physics class, so like basically physics and physics light, and then algebra 2. I'm going to be doing something with algebra 2 right now. This is actually the first lesson I will have made for algebra 2, and the way that a lot of algebra books start, it's review basic stuff, and it is on expressions and formulas, basically just like, hey, you remember how to do math? So I'm going to go with an approach that I have used even in 7th grade on this, and that's to approach it as a language. And I had an idea in mind for this that's going to be useful in Google Slides, in particular with an add-on called Pear Deck. So I'm going to go with my simple dark. Gotta love my simple dark. And I'm going to go ahead and just add a title. Math is a language. Yes, really, a language. Okay, so this is going to be the first actual lesson that we do in algebra. Algebra 2. I wonder how many students I'm going to have. Anyway, I said I want to use Pear Deck with this. And so just general rule of teaching is you start with something familiar, and then once you get students to latch onto what's familiar, then you use that to drag them into where it's unfamiliar. And that is what I'm going to do with language. Now, I know everybody's got different language skills, but I'm going to be like as basic as I possibly can. The other thing that you want to do as a teacher is, of course, get some kind of hook. And I think that starting out an Algebra 2 class with an English lesson is going to catch them a little off guard. So the first thing that I want to do here is kind of like a draw the line between the sides matching. So I'm going to go with, oh no, that's not quite yet. So what is a language? Okay, so there's this thing you can do in Pear Deck. So I'm going to go to add-ons. There's Pear Deck. Open the Pear Deck add-on. That should open up on this side. Now, ordinarily in a classroom, what you'd be able to do is pose a rhetorical question to the class and then start taking answers. You can even brainstorm, write those answers on the board, and then you can proceed with class with those answers on the board as they feel invested in the lesson because they've helped to create it. You can't do that remotely, so I'm going to use that this Pear Deck add-on to do that with text. So I'm going to make a text slide. I've asked a question that's in the title, and then during the presentation they'll be able to answer that question, and I can actually go through and display those answers. I think I want to make that question a bit more specific. What is a language? I kind of wish I didn't delete that text box below. What is a language? I'm looking for them to give answers like it should have words, or I think that'll be fine. They're not 7th graders. They'll come up with things, especially if I prompt them, during the presentation. All right. So what is a language? Okay. So next slide after this, I think this is going to be the one where I draw stuff. So I'm going to have them match things. Let's see, match or drag? No, I'm going to do draggable. That one's better. So one really important part of language is that words of speech. Words are specialized. They have functions within a sentence. So basically what I'm going for is that people's eyes glaze over when they see math because they think it's basically a list of spells or incantations. It's just a language, and it's a language that they don't know how to read. That's all. And I'm hoping that they'll feel empowered to read it. So parts of speech. Let me just let's see. Math. Match the part of speech with its function in a sentence. All right, so I think this is where I'm going to need another text box, because I'm going to use draggable. That's going to be a lot easier to see. So draggable, is that going to do it? Yeah, I think so. So with another text box, I'm going to line it up. Okay, so I'm going to have the part of speech on the left. Oh, I guess I can use two. That'll be easier, right? Okay, so kind of like, where you've got a list on the left and a list on the right, and you're going to match them together. Let me do the parts of speech. I want a noun. I want these bulleted. Hold on a second. Bullet. All right. So, noun. So, adjective. All these parts of speech are found in the mathematical language as well. Verb. Preposition. Let's see what else is there. Don't remember doing more than nouns, adjectives, verbs, and prepositions. The other parts of speech would be like adverbs, pronoun. Oh, pronoun, right, pronoun. Okay, that'll do. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it takes up some space. Okay, so yeah, if they draw lines, it's going to be too messy. So I'm going to color code these according to the dots that I'm going to leave. So I want a red one. orange one, a green one, a blue one. These are just the colors that I'm going to choose for the draggable dots. And violet. Oh, that's too hard to read. Hold on. Can't read that. Need to lighten it up. There we go. Now, if I were projecting this, I think that blue might be hard to see, so I'm going to lighten that up too. All right. Now it's the brightest one. Compromise. Love it. Okay, so now that I've got those. All right, so now, let's see, what size is this? 29. So now I just need a bullet list. This time it's going to be scrambled. And I just need to oh wait, no. Because I'm going to have more words. Okay, so obviously a noun is a person, place. I'm going to start with verb. So, describes action or state of being. Obviously that's a verb. Let's see, a pronoun refers to an object or person without naming it. Yeah, I think people will recognize that as pronoun. Let's see, let me go do adjective. Describes a noun. Okay, I guess I can do preposition now. So a preposition expresses a relationship between two nouns. And the noun would be, let's see, refers to, yeah, refers to a person, place, or thing. Everybody recognizes that. All right, so right now I need this to be a bit more evenly spaced. I've got two that are 2 lines. I wish these could all be 2 lines. All right, well, I just need to space them out a little bit more. So if I think that'll do. Okay, so this is going to be draggable. So basically, I'm going to have 5 dots in the colors. There we go, that I indicated. All right, so this is supposed to be instructive, so I'm going to go ahead and actually demo this for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the presentation. Let's see, I'll make this be instructor paste. Instructor, yeah, paste. When I heard that in my head, I spelled it P-A-S-T-E. Okay, so when you present a slide, by the way, just occurred to me, I'm presenting this on Pear Deck. If you went to joinpd.com right now, you could join this presentation. So what I have to do is open a new tab, go to joinpd.com, and then enter this code, Ivami. Okay, so once I enter that code, it's going to let me just say how I'm feeling. There, I've got a student connected, so let me start the class. So just so I can see both of these at the same time, I'm going to go 2 screen share. Okay, so this is what the student sees. This is what I see. So let me just move over. All right, so the student sees the next one. This is a question. Here's how I can answer the question. So I could answer that language is a system of symbols that refer to abstract and concrete concepts, must include rules of grammatic, construction, also good for memes. All right, so as the Pear Deck teacher, I can see the responses here, and so that would be, you know, one smart Alex response, and then this would be the equivalent of brainstorming in the class, writing it on the board, and then you know, going on from there. All right, so that's all good. I'm going to move on to the next slide, because this is the one that I really wanted. Okay, I see they're all pretty big. So the way this works is the noun, I want to take that down here. All right, I can see I need to make these smaller. The adjective describes a noun. The pronoun refers to an object or person without naming it. The verb describes action or state of being, and preposition expresses a relationship between two nouns. Okay, so these dots starting over here, they're kind of in the way of that. All right, I need to reorganize that slide. All right, well, thank you, Pear Deck, for presenting that. I need to go back now. Let's see, is this the... Got it. Okay, so away with you. Yeah, leave this thing. All right. So I need to fix that. One thing is, I know I'm able to change the size of those draggable dots. I might have to remove the Pear Deck thing and then, let me see here. Ah, there it is. Yeah, I want them to be smaller. Okay, so yeah, if they're gonna start there, I need that to be over. So it's updating the slide. All right, so let's see here. Oh, maybe resizing this is gonna solve my two-line problem. Yeah, they're all two lines now. All right, let me change the spacing back to 1.5. Describes a noun. I'm going to change this to describes a person or object. There we go. I cheated. Now it's two lines. Kind of don't like how, darn it. All right, yeah. Man, that's kind of difficult to read. I kind of regret doing that. If I make them smaller, can I get them? Layout, you know, I want this to be easy to use. I just wanted the... Oh, I see what I want. I see what I want. I want to add space after a list item. That's what I want. It's pretty close. There. Perfect. That's what I want. All right, right there. Okay, so here's the sequence. Start with just introducing the idea that math is a language. Let's talk about what a language is. Then going from what a language is to the functions inside of the function of parts of speech. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate them from the familiar terms. This is the separation from the familiar into the unfamiliar. They all know these words: noun, adjective, verb, preposition, pronoun. Now I'm going to stick with just these terms, and I'm going to recontextualize it in mathematics. Okay, so this is going to be my first non-interactive slide. So let me actually just copy this. I want to use this exact same terms. There we go. Okay, so mathematical terms as parts of speech. Okay, so we use the phrase parts of speech because we speak English. You don't speak math, but you know, I got to use familiar terminology for it to stick. So there is a action or state of being. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to no, I want this to look exactly the same. So I'm going to so on this side I'm going to match this with the mathematical thing that does that. So the mathematical equivalent, the only verb in math, is equals. And let's see, I think I want to color that with the same color as the verb. The verb is green. So equals is going to be green. I think it was that green. Equals. Okay, the pronoun refers to an object or person without naming it. That would be variables. Variables do that. Variables. Now it's now a different size, so let me just size this up so everything else goes back to normal vertically. There we go, variables. So pronouns were purple. Should this be purple? Because variables are the pronouns of math. Now obviously if you're I don't think I would consider variables to be a pronoun in functions, but they are in expressions. You know, when you're solving for them, that's their function. But you know, words, they can have a different function depending on their usage. So you know, don't at me. Adjective was orange. Oh no, which one did I use? That one. Expresses a relationship between two nouns. That's the preposition. Okay, preposition was blue. I had to make this 33, so I might have to make... Oh, whoops. I'm supposed to actually say the mathematical thing. So this would be... let's see, these would be like... negative signs, sometimes sometimes coefficients, but I don't know that I can fit that in there. Alright, sorry. So expresses a relationship between two nouns. Would be so of and without, those are just going to be operations. I need to make this be larger. Let me see if size 33 will do it. Yeah, it will. Alright, prepositions were blue. I believe I used that blue. And refers to a person, place, or thing. Well, the only things, so to speak, in the mathematical world are numbers. Did that actually size up? I just noticed it wasn't quite level. That's better. Alright, numbers. And the noun is red. Okay. Wait, is that the right red? I don't know, but I can't read that. Better. Okay, so sequence is, what is a language? Math is a language, but here's parts of speech. Now connect the functions of parts of speech to things that occur in math. Okay. So, whenever you read a mathematical expression, you should be able to interpret it as if it were any other language, with every term serving some function to the meaning of that expression. Okay, so hopefully from this point on I won't have to define the part of speech every time I use it. I should be able to just say the name of the part of speech and it should make some sense. But right now is where we would need to try one, and I'm going to do another draggable. So what I need to do is analyze this sentence. So once again, I'm going to have these parts of speech be used to analyze a sentence. So I'm just going to park this here, and now this sentence, all right, I'll make the font nice and big. So I just need a sentence, a 5-word sentence that uses every part of speech. So let's see. Okay. Just real basic. Let's see. Big books. Let me say something is with me. Many. Oh, I don't know. I want to be not too dumb. Many books are behind me. Okay, that's 5 words, and I've got adjective, noun, verb, preposition, pronoun. Okay, so I guess I can that. All right, so analyze the sentence. Let's go ahead and make this be a draggable one. And I need all 5 dot. Oops. I did not mean to do that. Hold on a second. I added it instead of edited it. Add another. Change this one to purple. There we go. And not so big. They need to be able to fit on each word. Okay. Good. So students should be able to identify each part of speech, and then we can explain why it is that part of speech. For example, why is many the adjective? Because it describes books. It describes how many. Books is the noun because they're like objects. Are, okay, that's the verb. It's a state of being. Behind, that's a preposition because it describes a relationship between books and me. Me is the pronoun which refers to me without naming me. Okay, so awesome. Analyze this sentence. Now I'm going to just duplicate this slide. This time I'm going to put a mathematical expression. So I'm going to do, let's see. Now, it's going to be difficult because this sentence used are as a linking verb, and the predicate was the prepositional phrase behind me. Is that predicate? I don't know. The predicate adjective was the prepositional phrase behind me. It was an adjective phrase. I'm going to need to put a noun on both sides. Oh, okay. So I'll do it like this. 3 of. Well, here. Let me see. This is one problem with Google Slides. Is you can. Oh, good. That's 3. I need to find a good multiplication. Holy cow. Alright, I guess I'll go with that. 3 times? Yeah, that looks like times. So 3 of 2 is x. I'm going to make this be a little bigger. So hopefully the way that I read it even indicated to you what it is. 3 of 2. Those are both nouns. Oh no, adjective. Right. So yeah, I need to have 2 nouns. 3 of 2. How can I do this with only a noun and a pronoun? Because if I could have 2 nouns, so I can only have 5 dots. Let's see. Okay, maybe I need to do this with draw. I think they can choose colors. Oh. I know what to do. I'm sorry. -6 equals 2 of x. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, oops. Ooh, that's going to look confusing. Well, they're algebra students. They should recognize this as multiplication. So, 2, oh, no, I actually need to have the symbol there. 2. All right, let me see if I do that. No, that just looks dumb. 2. I want to use x as the variable. Yeah, I don't think I can get away with doing this without 2 nouns. All right. Let me see. If I change this to draw, we can have them color code it. I'm gonna have to see what the draw slide looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to where this was. -6. All right, let's see what this looks like if I start this lesson. Okay, let's see here. Insincere elephants switch warm X-rays. Insincere elephants switch warm X-rays. Such a crazy app. No. There we go. Alright, I'm fine. Alright, so let's skip ahead. See? Yeah, that works better. Noun. So the red should be all formed there. Okay, so... okay. Try the icons. Oh, right. So... many books are behind me. Great. Okay. There we go. Now we can color this. So I'm going to highlight 6 and 2 as nouns. I'm going to highlight this minus sign as an adjective. That is a preposition. That's a verb. That's a pronoun. So I should be able to see that. Yep. Awesome. Saved. Okay. Well, that means I'm not limited to only 5 terms. Okay. Back up here. Oh, I need to actually name this thing. Math is a language. Awesome. Okay, analyze the sentence. Analyze this equation. Okay, so I actually do want to have instructions highlight. Alright, so I guess I can just put a text box here. Highlight each term with the corresponding color. Need to make that be a different color. Let me actually make that be legible. It's too small. Make it italicized so it looks like instructions. Oops. There we go. Awesome. Highlight each term with the corresponding color. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but make it a bit more complicated. Duplicate the slide. And this time, let's try... Alright, it's curveball time. I'm going to use addition. Addition is best expressed as a conjunction because it's and. Let's see. Oh, also, some differences in interpretation. So let's do 3x plus 2 equals 11. Okay, so according to my interpretation of this, 3 is either an adjective of x, or this is interpreted as 3 of x, and there's an implied preposition there. Do we have implied prepositions in English? I don't know. Do we? That's a good question. Anyway, math isn't English, so it doesn't matter. 3 x's and 2 is 11. All right. Awesome. So that's that concept. Okay. So that right there, the entire point is when they look at a mathematical expression, I want them trying to look at it like they might try to read a sentence in a foreign language. You don't just like look at the whole thing and hope to get it. You like break it down word by word according to like subject, verb, object. You know, so that's the idea there. Okay. Now I want to get to order of operations. Okay, so math as a language. Math as a language. Oops. Just like any other language, math has. Now a nice bullet list, because this is my just take a break from participation, info dump, transition. All right, so math has vocabulary. It's got grammar. It has literature. That would be math papers or you know, like proofs. It's kind of like literature. The difference, what makes math different from natural languages? Well, math is completely unambiguous meaning. That's one of the strengths, but also one of the weaknesses, because you can actually hide a lot of meaning in ambiguity. You know, it's like what a pun is. It's when you say something that means two things, and everybody hates you for it. Completely unambiguous meaning, and also useful for quantitative reasoning and expression. It's useless for how to put this, everything else. It's useless for emotional expression or most other communication. Okay, so just like any other language, it's got vocabulary, grammar, and literature. What makes math different from natural languages? It's completely unambiguous, and it's got a very narrow use. Okay, now can move on to the grammar of order of operations. Okay, so I'm going to change the layout here. I'm going to make this be another title. The order of operations. And the subtitle of this is Everything is Addition. Okay, so this is my approach to the order of operations, and it is that everything is addition. Alright, so this would be another case where I would take I put out a rhetorical question to the class, like, what are all the things that you can do? So I guess I'll go ahead and do that. So what are all the operations you can, what are all, what mathematical operations can you think of? And I'm gonna, in other words, what are all the different things you can do to or with numbers. The idea being like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, square roots, exponents, functions, different functions like that. This would be one of those kind of like no wrong answers things where technically functions are not operations, but the point is, what are all the different things you can plug numbers into and then they come out a different number? So I'll take another text, one where they can submit answers. Got it. Okay, and then I'm just going to explain how they are all addition, all of them, every single one. Now, if you are watching this and you're a math teacher, you're like, oh yeah, I could see that. It's a weird approach though. Yeah, that's right. It is a weird approach. I don't know. But if you're not a math person, you're probably like, what? How can everything be addition? Well, just think about it. Addition's the only thing a computer can do. So all the math that a computer can do, it does with addition. Okay, so what mathematical operations can you think of? I need to add a new slide. Okay, so I'm going to just start with addition. What is addition? Addition is the combination of two values okay, and I think I can demonstrate that with a picture. Just do something nice and easy. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Make that be big. Okay, and in order to justify my mathematical heresy, I'm going to define subtraction is addition with negative numbers. I know that might not be technically true, but I'm trying to build a model of mathematical understanding with pragmatic application. I'm not a number theorist, so yeah, subtraction is addition with negative numbers. Okay, so the pictures that I'm going to use for this, since they are fundamentally the same operation, they have the same priority, and you should execute steps from left to right. Okay, so seems dumb to have a picture of 3 plus 2 equals 5, but I'm gonna. So I just need, I guess, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, hold on a sec. Ugh. I can put this down here, right? 2, 3. Oops. I'm trying to make this look a bit more graphically pleasing. There we go. And now I guess I'll have 2 of them that are a different color to set them apart. I'll make it bluish, I guess. I really should have had these be a slightly different color, because now they just look like they're part of the text. I'll make these greenish. Alright, so 3 greens, 2 blues. Look, 5 circles. See, just 2 numbers together. Oh, wrong color. 3 circles, 2 circles, 5 circles. Alright, so negative numbers. So for this one, I'm going to copy and paste this. Now I'm going to use a different shape. It's going to be this with it crossed off. Oh no, it's all crossed off because it's not there anymore. Hold on. Oh, I need to make this be the right size. There we go. Same size. See, look at that. See that? All right, I think I'm going to make the border be red to indicate that it's been like canceled. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the idea is, let's make this underneath that I had 3, and then I went 2 the other way. Now there's only 1 left. Okay. There we go. So since they're fundamentally the same operation, they have the same priority, you should execute steps from left to right. Okay. Now, next up, what is going on? I want to do the next slide, but there we go. Is my stream okay? Oh yeah, I'm going. Huh. Must be. Oh, that's pretty cool. Turns out I was having stuff. Well, never mind. What's the point? Anyway, let me get back to where I was. Here he is. Okay. Yeah. See, that's the kind of thing I should probably have open in a different tab or like a different screen or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm new slide. Okay, so now I got to do, what is multiplication? All right, well, multiplication is repeated addition. So, of addition problems. Of addition problems. So I'm going to go ahead 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3. Hold on a sec. Oops. Hold on a sec. I'm not saving myself any time at all. There we go. As you can see, I guess I should write the answers. Equals 6, equals 9, equals 12, equals 15. As you can see, the pattern of how do I put this? Adding successively more 3s is monotonous, it's boring, it's I'm trying to say that it's not necessary to write the whole thing. I'll just say that. It's not necessary to write out a long repeated list. You can abbreviate it. Add I should say 5 of 3s is 15. That's what multiplication is. Alright, so I'm going to reduce some space here because that's taking up too much. Oh, wrong way. There we go. It's not necessary to write out a long repeated list. You can abbreviate it. 5 of those 3s is 15. Again, see, I'm trying to, like, this is a hybrid mathematical English statement. Okay, so 5 of 3s is 15. So the thing is that when you write 5 of 3s is 15, when you write that multiplication problem, there's not actually a 5 in the expression. Okay, so I'm going to just start from there. So, what is multiplication? Multiplication. It is repeated addition. Abbreviated. Alright. Is that the abbreviation of abbreviated? Sure. Alright, so 5 of 3s is 15. Okay, that's an English statement. Translated into math is 5. Let me get the 5 times. So if you've been watching this, first of all, thanks. Also, you poor person, you've been watching someone make a math lesson for an hour, but 5 times 3 equals 15. Okay, so 5 of 3s is 15. However, you will notice that 5 never actually occurs in the full expression, which was 3. Oops, I'm just going to copy it from the last slide. I don't want to type that. Here we go. Okay, most errors in the following of the order of operations usually involve doing addition and subtraction before the multiplication and division. Okay. All right, so, oops. This means that you must do multiplication before addition, else you will misinterpret the numbers in the expression. The idea is, if you're doing something on, like, 2 plus 5 times 3, if you do that 2 plus 5 first, that makes no sense because there wasn't actually a 5 in that problem. In other words, me actually explain that on the next slide. So I'm going to just duplicate this because the next one's all text. Really like this to be more... this could all be speaker notes, but I mean, you know, it's stuff I would write on the board anyway. So 2 plus 5 times 3 equals question mark. If you did the addition first, you would have 7 times 3 equals 21. However, if you replace five times 3, the abbreviation with the full addition problem, it's actually 2 plus. Alright, I need to use some color coding here. I'm going to... No, I can't actually do that. You see how this problem never called for a multiplication of 2 and 5. This problem doesn't actually have a 5 in it. It has 5 of something in it. I'd much rather just explain it all. However, this is also going to be, this is basically my notes, and it's going to be like in the classroom for them to refer to later. Okay. What is, all right, so just one slide devoted to, I shouldn't have to explain so much anymore because I'm exhausting the students, and also I've made the point. What is division? Just like subtraction is addition with negative numbers, division is multiplication with fractions. Now, to be fair, division is better understood as repeated subtraction, but again, I'm not going for number theory. I'm trying to just defend my thesis without stating something categorically false, and also build a working pragmatic model. So division, multiplicating, sounds like the name of a protein. Multiplication with fractions. What's division? What is division? So multiplication and division have the same priority and should be done from left to right, not caps bold, before addition subtraction. So I say this whenever I'm teaching. Isn't it just so much fun to listen to someone say what they're writing while you watch them write it? Okay. I think I could probably cram all this in the same slide. Let me try. what are exponents? Exponents are repeated multiplication. Exponents are repeated multiplication. So the same rule applies. Roots are exponents in reverse. So roots and exponents have the same priority. Okay. So, hooray. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, it's a super boring stream. Who cares that it got disconnected momentarily? Boo-hoo. Okay, what is division? What are exponents? All right, so I guess I'll just do my final reveal for the order of operations, which for algebra 2, I know it's review, but so finally, what are the order of operations? You usually see it written like this, and then it is PEMDAS. Make that nice and big, but surprise, I'm going to subvert it. So you usually see it written like this. Okay, I guess I'll put my version on the right. I don't get any, there we go. Oops, caps lock. Instead, I write it like this, and then, I got to erase that, and then I'm going to replace it with, oh, okay, I guess I'll use a table. Insert a table. Let me see if I can make the table invisible. So exponents and roots, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. There we go. So let me just put them in here. Exponents and roots, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. Okay, let's size these up. Make them the right color. Now I need to make them the right size. Here we go. Ooh, no. There we go. That's spacing, man. Can't make it any smaller, huh? Guess not. Alright, well, that'll do. Can I... There we go. There we go. Okay. Then I can explain that. Okay, at this point, I should be able to assign exercises. Okay, well that took me like an hour and 15 minutes. I can't plan an entire school year like this. I can't make everything like big and special and junk. That's just impractical. So probably what I'm going to do is go for something big like this, like maybe once a chapter, or I don't want to say once a unit. That's a bit sparse. Once a week is too much. But if I can do that once every so often, enough to, make it look nice and exciting and interesting, then that's good. Let's see. So I didn't use any Pear Deck stuff. Oh, that's right. Well, yeah. I think I got enough of that in there because... quiet you. Right, so I had enough... Yeah. All right, good. I'm going to call that language. All right, so this is a instructive thing for all Google Classroom stuff. So I'm going to actually add this to my Google Classroom. There's another reason I was nervous about live streams is because I'm used to just navigating all around, and I'd hate to accidentally navigate somewhere that I don't want to go, but I think I'll be fine. Here we go. Alrighty. So here's my classroom. Alright, so here's my Algebra 2. Okay, so if I went into classwork, I can create a topic. I'm going to make this be caps lock off, week 1. Alright, so if I go in here, I can create material for week 1. So this is math as a language, and the order of operations. And that's, of course, also Chapter 1, Section 1. Okay. Building an intuitive foundation for your mathematical understanding. So what I can do is I can add from the Google Drive, math is a language. Okay, so this is a material. This is going to be for all students in Algebra 2 in the topic of week 1. So I can post that. All right, now that's going to be waiting there. Now I can actually go ahead and do an assignment. Holy cow, this is the first assignment I will have posted here. So let me create an assignment. Okay, so math assignments. When I was doing Earth Science, I was able to make my questions in Google Forms. I have not thought about how to submit math assignments because when you're doing math, you want to write it out and send a picture. How am I going to accept math assignments without everybody just taking cell phone pictures of their notebooks and emailing them to me? Oh, that's going to be a hassle. So let me show you the kind of assignment that I have to work with for this. I know that's really small. You might not be able to see it. I don't know. But yeah, it's just evaluating expressions. By the way, if you're one of my students watching this, hey, look, it's the answers. Anyway, so well, I'm just going to post the assignment and I'll have to solve that later. So, Chapter 1, Section 1. Pages 8 to 9. Do problems. Let's see. 4 through 12. This is the most boring part of teaching, by the way. Do problems 4 through 12. I don't want to be cruel. 16 to 21. And ugh, yuck. This is really not the kind of thing that I need to do while you're watching. I'm just trying to do it quickly. 47 to 50. Why not? Let's see. So that's a total of 9 problems, 6 problems, so 15. It's like 20 problems, but most of them are like 8th grade level problems. It's not a problem. So, okay. Oh yeah, when is this assigned? I'll get to that later. Okay. Cool. There's a math lesson. So after this, I'm just going to keep doing math. Properties of real numbers. Okay. This is great. So the next lesson is about real numbers. It has vocab terms like rational and irrational. Let's see here. Commutative, associative, identity, inverse, distributive properties of multiplication and addition. And it's got oh, I hate sections like these. It's like the kind of thing where everybody is almost guaranteed to know it, and going through it as like a formality is just painful for everybody, which means I kind of wish that I could just, look around the room and be like, hey, everybody got this right, and then skip it. But no, if you do that, then you're going to end up halfway through the year with people like, what? And then it's all because you didn't remind them of it in August or September. Okay, well, all right. I'm going to not do this right now because this is the kind of thing that's boring to watch and not very helpful. So I'm actually going to switch subjects. That was Algebra 2. I'm going to move on to some science. Earth science. So, the first section of Earth science all was about the scientific method. I'm going to move this to Earth Science. There it is, Google Classroom. Oh, oops, my bad. This is not Earth Science, this is Algebra. Algebra 2. Alright, there we go. So let me get back out here. So the first thing that I'm doing in Earth Science, as like every science class does, you got to start with the scientific method. And so, I've got a thing on the scientific method here. I did this yesterday. Fun. But I actually need to make it Earth Science right now. So I see that the second section of this chapter is about disciplines of Earth science, geology, meteorology, oceanography, all that stuff. But then the next chapter talks about the Earth as a system and the different spheres, like Earth systems, like the lithosphere and the atmosphere and the hydrosphere. And I don't really like how it mentions the disciplines of geology and oceanography before it mentions the sphere of the lithosphere and the hydrosphere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reorder this. I'm going to go through the spheres and systems first and then mention the disciplines. So I'm going to kind of mash chapter 1 and 2 together. So science as a process. That's the one I just did. Okay, so chapter 2, the concept that I need to teach right now is what the Earth is. Like, what it is as an object. And, like, what it is made of. With the understanding that the how we know is going to be covered later. So, I don't know if I can, I might be able to, you know, let you see what I'm looking at, but I'm going to be working it all out. And I think the way that I want to do this is actually with what one of my coworkers has called a hyperdoc. So I'm going to go not in slides, but in docs. Start a new document. This is going to be the kind of thing that would kind of be like for a self-guided learner. I'm going to call it What is the Earth? Okay, I'm going to talk about all the different things that the Earth is. Obviously, the Earth is a planet, but, you know, there's a whole lot that's it's packaged up in that term. So let me see here. It's kind of funny to think I want a global view of what the Earth is. It's literally what that means. Okay, so the Earth is a planet. It is a oblate spheroid. Let me see here. Alright, so I'm going to pose the question at the top like a title. What is the Earth? Alright. So the deal with the hyperdoc is that it's not just something that you like read. It's something that you interact with. So first of all, the Earth is a planet. Now, what I want to do right here is go to this website, which is just one of the best websites on the internet, and get the etymology of the word planet. It is a wandering star, which is just so cool. I'm going to take this link and I'm going to go back to this doc. I'm going to highlight the word planet, do Control K to add a hyperlink, and now paste that site into the link. That is now a hyperlink. So when one of my Earth Science 8th grade students is in this document, they're going to see the Earth is a planet. The word planet is a hyperlink, and when you click on that, it takes you to an explanation of the origin of the word planet. Whenever it is possible, I like to put other subjects into science. One reason is because I'm not just trying to make people good at science. I'm trying to make people into good people. And I don't mean like morally praiseworthy. I mean like I want you to be I want you to fulfill all of your potential. I want you to be as developed as possible, and you don't just like get good at science and then you're smart. It's not like that. It's like you want to have as interconnected a knowledge of everything as possible, because it all informs each other. So just throwing in a little bit of etymology into the word planet. It's nice. So the Earth is a planet. This means that it is a massive object in space, and we live on it. But now I want to get into some of the properties of space at a glance. It is now bullet list, just very obvious things. So this would be an oblate spheroid. All right. Just checking the chat for fun because I actually do have it open. Yeah, thanks, Harry. That's a habit I actually picked up teaching in a Christian school. One, because it was a classical school, so it was all about classics and old stuff. But two, it's because the more you see the New Testament, the more interested you get in Greek. And at that school, they taught Latin, and they're all like, roots of words, and it's all like, really important understanding language. But like all the roots of scientific words are Greek, like almost all of them. And so, I don't know if it's like a complex or something, but I started thinking like, all right, I want to start pushing the Greek in science class, and it helped with the doing etymologies, but also when I was doing like life science and stuff, some of the medical terms are just like, they're so dense and impossible to know. Oblate spheroid. Here we go. So another link. All right, it's the Earth, an oblate spheroid. So that means it's almost perfectly spherical, but not quite. Okay. Mostly covered in water. Surrounded by a layer of gases. And it is made of hard, dense material, solid on the surface, molten on the inside. Okay, so this is like first visitor to a planet, teach me like I'm 5 version of the Earth. It's a round thing that's pretty wet, but the parts of it that are dry are hard, and if you dig, it's hot. That's the Earth. Okay, so you got to start somewhere. I really need to have a picture of the Earth here. This is just bugging me how empty and white this is. Yeah, it's like country music. It's so bad. So let me search on the web here. Let me get a picture of the Earth. I feel like the captain on Wall-E. I'm like, computer, what is Earth? And then it shows me this picture. All right, so what is the Earth? Here you go. That's the Earth. Is that a photograph? It might be a photograph. All right, did not expect. There we go. Earth is a planet. It's a planet, you guys. Earth is a planet. Okay. Mostly covered in water, surrounded by a layer of gases, made of hard, dense material, solid on the surface, molten on the inside. Okay, so it's at this point, I've already kind of hinted at the spheres. Like the lithosphere and the hydrosphere and the atmosphere. I just haven't used those terms yet. I want to talk. So here's the obvious. It's the stuff that anybody who's ever visited the Earth ought to know. Visited, as if there's people not from the Earth. Okay, and now I gotta start being okay, so we have the hard part, the wet part, and the what do we call the wind part? The wispy part? The blowy part? I need something that an 8th grader can't make gross. The part. The wispy. I don't know. I'll fix it later. And the wispy part. No, it's so dumb. And the blowy part. I just gotta do it. The blowy part. Nah. 8th graders, you just can't trust them. And the all right, I can't be this dumb. Ground, the water, and the air. So I'm going to start with the ground. So this will be a new section. The ground. So I'm going to center this, make it big. Oh, no. No, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, this is like remote education stuff, right? I'm going to make these all be links to different hyperdocs. The ground, the water, the air. So, yeah. So the ground, the water, the air. Let's make them nice and... Is there some way... Man. I would really wish I could make like... I think there might be a way to do this, but I'm going to do it later. So the ground, the water, and the air. Oh, didn't want to do that. All right. So the ground. Hey, come back, you. All right, the ground, the water, and the air. Stop being dumb. All right, the ground, the water, the air. All right. So this is the introduction to the Earth. I'm going to, yeah. Back to size, what was size? 11. Back to size 11. Click on each of the following to focus on each. Part of the Earth. Okay, got it. So I'm gonna make this is gonna be like the master hyperdoc, and it's going to link to 3: ground, water, air. And yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go do one for the ground. Just open up a new doc. Oh, I really feel like a moron every time I say doc to refer to document. I hate doing it. Don't like to do it. Oh, thank you for the suggestions, Matt. Could have. Yeah, sometimes I want to be like stupid and clever, you know, just to make them laugh, but sometimes it really backfires. I mean, you know, dad jokes. What do you want? All right, so this is the ground. Okay. Man, you know, I kind of wish I was doing this in Google Slides, because Then I could have like a picture in the background. Maybe you want to do this with Google Slides. Nah, I'm committed to docs. I'll do docs. I wanted to do a hyperdoc. It's, you know, gonna make my coworkers proud of me. The ground. All right, so at this point, I need to make a hyperdoc of the ground. Okay, so I'm going to skip to the next section and get this term geosphere. First, let's introduce this term. All right, so geosphere, I'm just going to copy the definition straight out of the textbook, except just kidding, I'm not going to copy it. I'm going to use this. Well, the mostly solid, rocky part of the Earth. Extends from the center of the core to the surface of the crust. And let me tell you what voice typing is so tight. Alright, so extends from the center of the core to the surface of the crust. Okay, so I'm gonna make this be nice and big and important looking because it's a hyperdoc, right? Right. Awesome. Geosphere. Almost like that. I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay. Back to 11. Alright, so we got the term geosphere. So it's the mostly solid rocky part of the Earth. You know, in other words, the ground. So just from this, it says this sphere includes all the rock and soil on the surface of the continents on the ocean floor. I'm just going to type this into it. This sphere includes all of the rock and soil on the surface of the continents and on the ocean floor, period. Alright, it's getting into the interior. Let me see here. What else makes... Alright, the next sentence will be enough. The geosphere also includes the solid and molten interior of Earth, which makes up the largest volume of matter on Earth, period. Awesome. When I taught this with the other book, it called it the lithosphere. This really bugs me that it's different, but you know, I don't know why it keeps capitalizing rock. It's like, yeah, rock. And soil on the surface of the continents and on the ocean floor, the geosphere. Okay, got it. So now there is the interior. That's in the previous section. All right, so just like I'm trying to pace a movie or something, I want to introduce things in sequence, and as soon as I mention something, it can show up and start doing its thing. So I'm going to find a picture of the interior. Although this is a hyperdoc, I wonder if there is a link I can put on geosphere. The geosphere. So I saw Geo Society and it made me remember, what is it, geosites or geocities or whatever it was. The geosphere. No, that's not right. Geosphere. Anything interesting? For a second, I thought that was an Urban Dictionary entry, and I was like, what? All right. This might be a bit more 8th gradey. Just a bit. Oh. Nah. This gives the other stuff away. Never mind. The sphere includes all the rock and soil on the surface of the continents and on the ocean floor. Okay. So I'm going to get me a picture of the interior. Search the web. Interior of the Earth. I might even be able to find the same one that's in my textbook. No. I mean, that could do it. Let's see. Okay, there we go. The Earth is, I should say, the interior of the Earth is made of many distinct layers, which all have their own names. The specifics of each layer, how we know about it, and what makes it different will be the subject of later chapters. Alright, now I can define each term. So, according to this, the lithosphere is the solid part? Oh, I hate this kind of stuff. I really don't need to be too specific right now. The thin, solid outermost zone of Earth is called the crust. Tell you what, there are 6 vocab terms, so I'm just going to list each one like I did with geosphere. So, crust. The thin and solid outermost layer of the Earth above the mantle. In earth science, the layer of rock between Earth's crust and core. The central the solid, outer layer of Earth that consists of the crust the solid, plastic layer of the mantle beneath the lithosphere. Made of mantle rock that flows very slowly, which allows tectonic plates to move on top of it. Literally, the middle sphere. The strong, lower part of the mantle between the asthenosphere and the outer core. Learning to pronounce that word took me a little while. Asthenosphere. Alright, literally the middle sphere. Well, I'm hoping that'll do for this. So this should serve as all they need to know about the ground. Okay, now so here's an idea. Maybe what I should do is I could make a short Google form. It's questions based on this. Maybe. I don't know. I'm coming up on 5 o'clock. That's when I wanted to be done working. So I might just have to make sure this is in the right place. It's science. Google Classroom. Oh, I don't have this there. Oh, right. I need to add the link. Earth Science. Google Classroom. Alright, so what I can do is I can publish this. So I'll publish it with the link. Yes, I want to publish the selection. So I've got this link. Now I go to, what is the Earth? The ground. Control K. Put the link in there. Ta-da! Now it's linked to the ground. And when I click on that, it takes me to a published version of it, the ground. See? Everything you need to know about the ground. Okay. Well, nothing very hyper about that. I think I might have to continue after that. That would be the rest of this section. So basically this whole thing is going to like take 2 chapters and put them into like one thing. The rest of this chapter is going to be about like ecology and the systems. Oh wait, these are the systems. Geosphere. Like what systems are, open system, closed system. But that's kind of contained enough. Okay, so coming up on the end of this work period, let me see if I can summarize what I was trying to do, what I hope to do, and I'm sure I'll keep working on this after the stream's over, but interruption-free work is hard to come by in my house, so I got up till 5 and I'm totally not going to push my luck on that. Anyway, so part of the curriculum and instruction team where I work, I'm trying to, be a leader in terms of using Google apps for education. Obviously, of course, Google Classroom, but trying to come up with creative solutions to remote teaching with Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Forms. I only got to Slides and Docs today, but that is fine. I also don't know whether streaming helped me work faster or made me work slower. Might have made me work faster because I have never been so focused as I have been these last 2 hours. I get so distracted. But then also, I'm pausing for all these soliloquies. So who knows? Maybe it washed out. But yeah, so as teachers, we're used to a certain kind of teaching. We have a classroom full of people. We got a board behind us. We got a projector. We got, lab space, cabinets, all the stuff that we're used to. And so there's like a mode of teaching that we like to do. And if you are teaching in a classroom that's only at half capacity because you have a class of like 20 and you're only allowed to have 10 in the room and everyone else is at home, or maybe you have a classroom where it's at full capacity but there's a few students who can't come to class because they're like immunocompromised, or someone in their house tested positive and they're like forcibly quarantined or something. How do you get instruction to them without it being, if you're a teacher and you've had to prepare stuff for a student who is sick, it's a hassle. You basically plan the class twice. We're looking to make this so that you only ever have to plan it once. and that this could be done with me guiding it in person, with me guiding it remotely, like via Zoom. It might also possibly, in some cases, like this HyperDoc, be done by students independently. That was one of my favorite things this past end of the school year, giving people like independent projects. I shouldn't say independent projects, giving people things that they could work on by themselves and then collect the results together to show off to everybody. That was really nice. Okay, so if you've gotten anything from this, one, it should be how boring it is to be a teacher when you're not actually in a classroom teaching. Second thing that you should get from it, not saying should, that I'm hoping you get from it, because it's what I'm trying to give, is that there are a lot of tools available to you that you can use to creatively re-engineer your teaching style. I mean, you have all these skills, all this experience that's built up over years. You don't want to have to reinvent yourself. You maybe can't quite completely adapt to the new environment. You can get the environment to adapt to you a little bit. That's what humans do. But yeah, there's a lot you can do to make your class feel like your class, but also live fully adapted in the new environment. Anyway, this has been great, but yeah, I haven't stood up in 2 hours. I'm gonna sign off now. Hey, I know a couple of you are watching. Thank you guys. Anyway, I'm gonna watch this over, and if it wasn't totally awful, next time I do this, I'll post a link. Anyway, it's a good time to stop.